Welcome to another instalment of That Time When. Matt Miller with you at Trek Zone HQ. This is the podcast. We're going through the archive here at Trek Zone, flipping through the library, having a look at past sci-fi alumni interviews. Today, That Time When, Tim Russ beamed in for a chat.
Taking you back through the library of Trek Zone in a bite-sized podcast. That Time When.
Welcome. Joining me from Los Angeles for this edition, you may recognise him as Tuvok from Voyager, but he's also a director and producer as well, and he's keeping very busy at the moment. Tim Russ, welcome to the Trek Zone Spotlight, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
The reason that we're chatting today is for a production you're working on at the moment. We'll chat about that in a second. But first, your Star Trek journey began when you auditioned for the role of Geordi LaForge. You lost out to LeVar Burton, obviously, but did that make you want a job on Trek more?
Not necessarily. At the time, that was just one of a dozen interviews that I might have had that month. For television or film projects, so it was just another opportunity that came my way, and at the time also I wasn't aware of exactly how close I was or how far I was away from getting that role. I just had a chance to go in and read for it, so the opportunity came and went, and I was looking by next week for something else to do.
While you did miss out on the role of LaForge, you did return to Star Trek in a couple of guest spots before Tuvok, most notably as a saboteur on the TNG episode Starship Mine, and also as a Klingon on DS9's Invasive Procedures. Was that a decision out of the blue, or were you actively looking for work?
Well, by the time I picked up those guest spots on TNG and DS9, I had been reading for guest roles on TNG and DS9 for the past 3 years. 3 years prior to that, I had been coming in to read for these parts as they became available. And in fact, I read for Sadig's role, the Doctor in Deep Space Nine. I read for that regular role as well. I was being considered for that part also. By that time, I was aware of the fact that the shows were very successful. There was 2 of them on at the same time, and I knew that this opportunity was something that I wanted to keep the door open for, and they kept bringing me back. So I thought, well, I'll go back and I'll keep reading, and eventually something may pop. Well, it eventually did. So I was at that point focused in on the fact that these shows were very successful since they had 2 of them running simultaneously at that point. So yeah, to me it was an opportunity. It was really a pleasure to work with Patrick Stewart, which I did heavily on that episode, taking over the ship, and also as a Klingon, it was some very, very long days in the makeup chair at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, and a lot of catnapping during the shoot day as well. It was a lot of work doing the Klingon role.
Eventually, you landed the role of Tuvok on Voyager. Was that a great change of pace, a fun difference from all those guest spots?
Oh, that was tremendous. The opportunity was wonderful. I mean, and again, if it had been any television series, it would have been a great plus. As it turns out, this particular show and series of shows has such a large fan base around the world and a franchise to go with it that is carried on well beyond the series. And in that way, in that sense, it's very different than in an average television show. If you do an average series, doctor show, lawyer show, no matter how popular they may be, they typically will stop once the show is off the air. That's going to be it. So with this type of show, with Star Trek in particular, there isn't really an end to it. It continues. It goes on from conventions to other types of work that might be related to it. It has a life of its own. So for me, as a career standpoint, it was definitely a big plus. My goal at the time was to get on a show that was going to stay on the air for more than a year. So and that's what my goal was at the time.
Are you watching us on YouTube? Click the link in the description to catch this interview in full now. Maybe you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app. Then beam over to our official watch page and click the link there.